Hi everybody, Off-Road Guy here. Today I'm going to be going over the install and operation of Evil Components locker bypass kit for the Power Wagon. If you know anything about the Power Wagon, you know that turning the lockers on is not a quick or easy thing for some reason. Dodge has made it very difficult for them to come on. They take a long time to come on. Alright, so here's what it does when before the kit is put in. Right now I'm in two-wheel drive, and well, I think I should be able to use the rear locker if I want to in two-wheel drive, but it won't let you. It does. By the way, there's going to be a lot of blinking on here and here if you want to do it, but it won't do that. And even in four-wheel drive, so you see on the gauge we're in four-wheel drive high, and it won't work in four-wheel drive high. Why wouldn't you want to be able to use your locker in four-wheel drive high? So let me four-wheel drive low. There, it locked in. Wow, that was pretty quick actually for locking in. Let's see how quick it locks in the front locker. Sometimes you need to move around. So moving a little bit. Maybe put it in neutral. See if it likes that better. It's in park. It should be able to go into the front locker to work. Let me drive around some more. Wow. I guess I could do a video just on engaging and disengaging the lockers. Oh. It's locked finally. So only way you can use these is in four-wheel drive low, which to me just seems crazy. I mean, there's times where you could use the rear locker in two-wheel drive. That might do you just fine. So I'm gonna we'll take and see how long it takes to. Wow, that was pretty quick. See how long. Into neutral right now. Put it off the brake. Let me try reverse a little bit and see if it back forward. There we go. That was quick actually for disengaging. And I'll put it out. Take it out of. But you see how it took quite a while for it to get into all the lockers, and it shouldn't take that long. It should only be like a second or something, less than a second, because all it's doing is magnetizing the magnet, and pulling a pin over to engage the locker on this. So I'll show you after I install the kit how quickly it engages. Because you can feel, if you guys have had lockers, you know that as soon as you engage the locker, you can feel it. I mean, I'm on dirt. I mean, it's dirt, a little bit, slightly, a little bit of asphalt, but hard packed dirt and gravel. So we'll see how it works after we install the kit. Alright, with this kit you get 2 different wiring harness sections. You get this one's the harness that goes from the able harness all the way back to the rear of the truck for the rear locker. And this is the main harness, which you have a T connection for a 10-pin plug on the truck. You have, this is the connector for the box, the control box. You have this connector that goes for the front locker, and on top of that, if you notice, like on this one, they give you basically caps, so you can cap off your factory plug. Same on the rear. I've inserted it into the plug that goes back there, so that when I go to hook it up, I'll pull the plug, hook it up to the locker, and then put the cap on the factory wiring harness. And then of course you got power and ground. So it's actually really easy. This one goes to the rear harness. You see how it has the same. So this is actually, I mean, beside the hardest part about this kit is probably going to be routing all the wiring. First thing I'm going to do is, as you can see, I'm on the passenger side front corner of the truck, and see the 10-pin connector down there? You'll see it that I've already unplugged it. You can see down here. Insert the T. Alright, now that I've got the T-harness installed, I'm going to take and drop this down. This is the plug with the cap that goes to the front axle. I'm going to take and drop it down. I see a wiring harness loom right there, a factory one, and I like to run stuff along the factory. Alright, now we're underneath the truck. As you can see, I've found the plug right here next to this factory wiring loom. I'm going to basically follow it along. And it's hard to see with my hand and all the stuff. You can see my hand right here. This is now, I'm going to follow it along. This is the factory wiring harness that goes to the front axle. If you can follow my hand along a little bit, you can see that it goes all the way. Now let's move the light a little. See, it goes right here to where it plugs into the differential for the locker. I'm going to be taking and running it along and zip tying it, and then I'll show you along the way. Alright, I got it all zip tied for the front axle. I just got to push that down, put the factory plug down. Got it all zip tied up and to the wiring harness. And up. We'll continue back on the top side and do a little more zip tying. Alright, next what we're going to do is, see this cable, the part of the harness for the Ables kit that has the power, ground, and the plug for the rear. I'm going to take and run it. I've already run it underneath the core support here. You can see it. Alright, right now we're on the driver's side. I've run it across the core support. Behind this, you see this harness behind this bracket here, behind the fuse box, and then you have to take and connect negative to this negative cable on the fender. And alright, still over here on the driver's side fender, I've righted as you can see that wiring harness right there with the orange wire here going to the positive. It's got the negative is hooked right here to the fender. The wiring harness is back here tucked, and it's routed behind the battery here. There, and that goes to the rear for the rear section of the wiring harness. So here we have the plug, and you can see it slowly, the cable winding down. See down there, there's a big, huge electrical connection. It goes over the top of that. And you can see it right there. Kind of hanging out a little bit more than it should be, but I zip tied it to the wiring harness right there. Running along the frame rail. You can see it's, well, it's hard to see because I tuck it behind the, kind of on top, but you can see right there. Then it's now almost on top of the frame. As you see where I have a zip tie on the other side, it's sitting almost on top of the frame. There's another zip tie along the frame. So you can see I put it over another frame tube, and now it's hanging over here, getting closer to the axle. Alright, got it routed over the frame tube here, along the, still running the same route as the wiring harness, up over the brake cables. So as you can see here, I've got it unplugged and zip tied, starting to zip tie it down, and you can see the cable. That's how much extra cable we're going to end up with. They're going to have to find some place to zip tie up out of the way, and I'll show you that here in a minute. Well, as you see there, I took and bundled it up a little bit right there. It's not too terribly much, but it's a bit. And so we'll take and wrap it up to see how I mount the control box. Alright, for the last part here. Well, I mean, this is not probably going to be as helpful to you as other mountings, because my truck came with a K&N air cleaner setup, as you can see. And well, I decided just to mount it to that, mine. So there, and then I ran it down. There's a little bit of extra wiring down here. I had to zip tie up into a bundle down there. But overall, this is a really easy install. Alright guys, here's the final test to see if, so right now I'm in two-wheel drive, see? And it's unlocked. Turn the little knob. Oh man, it just locked right in. So let's see how it feels. Oh yeah, she's locked up right now. I'm going to take and unlock it and back up. And unlocked again. That quick. Alright, since I won't be able to tell, I'm going to lock it into four-wheel drive. Alright, we're in four-wheel drive now. And now let's lock the front axle too. Oh yeah, you can feel it. It's harder to feel in this truck due that it has a hydraulic steer. But like in my Dodge and my Blazer, having the front axle lock, you can feel real easy because you can feel the steering wheel stiffen up on you. Whereas this one, it's a lot fainter because of the hydraulic steer. But alright, now let's turn it back into unlock. And you can still feel it in four-wheel drive, so we'll take and put it back into two-wheel drive. Wow, that is quick and easy. Quick and fast to unlock. It's so much nicer than the factory setup. And I like the fact that you can put it in two-wheel drive and lock it. You can lock the rear axle when you're in two-wheel drive. So this is, I don't know, until we can find a better way, this is a really good kit, I think. It's simple to install, and I think it's pretty good. So follow me on YouTube and Facebook, and we're out.